Lake Orion pays tribute to a fallen hero.
The Orion Art Center travels back in time for its annual gala.
Supervisor Chris Barnett delivers the State of the Township address.
And the Easter Bunny ushered in spring during the Bunny Bop.
Hello, I'm Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson.
We'll have those stories and much more here on ONTV News. On the evening of March 10th, Lake Orion lost one of its own when a Black Hawk helicopter crashed off the coast of Florida during a training exercise. Killed in the crash was Staff Sergeant Trevor Blaylock and 10 of his fellow Marines. Blaylock graduated from Lake Orion High School in 2004 and leaves behind his wife Lisa and their 2 young daughters. On Wednesday, March 25th, Blaylock's remains returned to Lake Orion. All flags in the area were ordered to fly at half-mast. At approximately 3:30 p.m., a motorcade traveled north on M24. Hundreds of residents lined the sides of Lapeer Road from Clarkston Road to the Orion Veterans Memorial to pay tribute to a local hero. Police, firefighters, and veterans stood in silence near the memorial with flags in hand as the motorcade passed by. Prior to the accident, Blaylock's family had purchased an engraved brick at the Veterans Memorial. The brick has become a memorial to Blaylock as visitors place coins and mementos on that spot.
I drove up the road and it was just speechless just to see the people out and the American flags. And then as Trevor passed, literally the sun comes out at that moment. It's been this rainy, dreary day, and just a testament of what our community is all about. You know, people care in this community like I've never seen ever in any community I've been a part of. And it's just humbling, I think is the best way to put it, just to see, you know, most of these people that are out here have never met Trevor, don't know his family. Some people do, but just to know that he's a dragon, he's one of us, and he's coming home, man, it's just hard. I mean, I was choked up there for a little bit. So
I am very glad that we have such a place as the Orion Veterans Memorial, and this was not one of the reasons we built it, but certainly it has done its job today only too well, unfortunately. Staff Sergeant Blaylock deserved every bit of what we have demonstrated here today in the way of welcoming him back home.
It was quite an honor to support him, and if you look on Heaven's Scenes, we're definitely a band of brothers. The Marine Corps, whether you meet him in a grocery store or at the baseball park, if you see somebody wearing a Marine Corps emblem on him, we're a band of brothers, and we can talk like there's no tomorrow.
On Saturday, March 28th, family and friends gathered at the United Methodist Church in the village to remember the life of Trevor Blaylock. Pastor John Ball, as well as several of Trevor's friends, shared stories about his life and unique sense of humor. Following the ceremony, Blaylock's casket left the church and the procession traveled to the Square Lake Cemetery on Joslyn Road, north of Clarkston Road, where he was laid to rest. We here at ONTV would like to express our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Trevor Blaylock. He will be greatly missed.
Elected in 2012, Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett has witnessed tremendous growth and change since taking office. Recently, Barnett reflected on the events that shaped the Orion area in 2014 and looked ahead to the promise of an exciting 2015. On the morning of Wednesday, March 25th, community leaders gathered at the Orion Center for the Supervisor's State of the Township address. Barnett was introduced by his brother, Mayor of Rochester Hills, Brian Barnett. Among the topics touched on by the supervisor were growth and development in both residential construction and new businesses. Here are some of the highlights.
We did what we said we would do, and we did a lot more. The first thing is probably the biggest news from a fiscal standpoint, and that's what you elect me and my counterparts to do, and I'll introduce them in a minute, is to manage the budget, manage your money. It's your money. And this is amazing news, and I'm really proud of. 2013, when we set our budget for 14, we were projecting spending about $500,000 of our fund balance, of our rainy day fund. Well, I'm very pleased to report that at the end of the year, Not only did we not spend that $500,000, we actually put $713,000 in the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a $1.26 million swing to the good, and it's worth clapping about. Another thing that happened in 2014 is we grew, and we are growing exponentially. If you look here at the chart, you can see this is our new construction starts, and with the exception of 2012, which we nearly doubled, we have doubled every single year consistently since 2010. Last year we had 328 new construction starts, 7 of which were industrial and commercial buildings. We also have seen the sharpest increase in home values in the last decade right here in Orion Township. But it's a community I think we all love, and I'm really blessed to have this job that I love. I'm a little more gray this year, a little more bald, a lot more tired, but a lot more love for this community. So I just want to thank you all for coming out. Thank you for your commitment to our community, for your investment in our community. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for your commitment, and God bless Orion Township.
You can view the State of the Township address in its entirety right here on ONTV. You can also view the program schedule by visiting orionontv.org, or you can watch the video online on ONTV's YouTube channel.
Lake Orion High School teacher Joshua Hosler is being recognized on a national level for his dedication in the classroom. The John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts is honoring the longtime English professor for his attentive and caring attitude towards his students. Hosler was one of 12 recipients nationwide to receive this award and the $10,000 cash prize. Hosler was nominated by his former student Taylor Facile, who now attends Michigan State University. Facile was an outstanding student with a timid personality. She says Hosler always made her feel confident in the classroom. Hosler split his $10,000 grand prize with Facile to show his appreciation.
Lake Orion High School senior swimmer Devin Nowicki set a new state record and took home 2 state titles during the Division I Boys Swimming Championships at Eastern Michigan University on Saturday, March 21st.
Hi, I'm Devin Nowicki, and I swim.
Nowicki set a new state record for the 100 breaststroke with a time of 53.59, beating out the old state record by nearly 2 seconds. He also won state titles in the 100 butterfly and 50 freestyle split. Nowicki was named Co-Swimmer of the Year with fellow high school swimmer Jack Walsh of Detroit Catholic Central.
A Lake Orion High School graduate was recently inducted into the Missouri Athletics Hall of Fame. Ashley Patton was an all-star track and field athlete at Lake Orion High School from 1999 until she graduated in 2002. She continued her athletic career at the University of Missouri, where she was the university's top distance runner most of her career.
I would probably have to say Coach McGuire's mindset. Those definitely stand out to me. Just being a part of this wonderful team was something for me. It has just formed who I am, and I'm just very proud to say that I'm a Mizzou-made athlete.
During her time at Lake Orion, Patton was a 3-time state champion and former state record holder in the 800-meter run. With her best time of 2 minutes and 4 seconds in the 800-meter run, Patton was a 3-time NCAA All-American and a 4-time Big 12 champion and a USTCA All-American winner at the University of Missouri. Patton currently works as an executive assistant in the Department for Academic Affairs at the Kansas City University of Medicine and Bioscience.
On Wednesday, March 25th, I attended Heartfelt Impressions Family Literacy Night, an event located at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Lake Orion. Free, family, fun. Those are the words that best describe Heartfelt Impression Center's Family Literacy Night. For those who don't know, the center is a child care program for kids of all ages and features various child-friendly events in order to bring the community together.
It was the idea of our directors and some of our teachers, and we jumped in together and formed a committee, and we planned this whole thing out. We wanted to do something for our families to come and enjoy, and we invited the community in.
The event itself was about 2 hours long and took place at the Knights of Columbus Hall around 6 p.m. on Wednesday, March 25th. Throughout the hall were various workstations where children can play together and make crafts, as well as draw pictures, paint with watercolors, and of course, eat food.
I was at the Very Hungry Caterpillar station. We got to eat all the foods that the Hungry Caterpillar ate, and of course at the end the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, so we made butterflies that the children got to take home.
The entire event was themed around the famous children's books by author Eric Carle, such as The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Brown Bear, Walter the Baker, and Pancakes, Pancakes.
I think the part that gave me the most joy was watching my husband at 6'3" in his bear costume waving to the 3-year-olds and how excited they got to see that. So that was a plus.
The owner of Heartfelt Impression Center, Rhonda Myers, has been in the field of early childhood development for years now and has a strong commitment to providing high quality in early education. In fact, the event itself is her way of mixing a positive learning environment with family-based entertainment.
I've spent my life becoming an expert in what different children need, and all children don't learn the same. So one of the important messages in our program is we want to help you understand the type of learner your child is and help you become an expert on that so that you can advocate for them. So by showing parents that children can learn in ways that don't always look like sitting at a table, but that they're gaining new skills, new cognitive abilities, it's just a great kind of living message for them. So it's our passion.
If you would like to know more about the Heartfelt Impressions Learning Center or the programs that they offer to children, then visit their website at heartfeltimpressions.net.
When we come back, we will travel back in time for the Orion Art Center's annual gala.
And the Easter Bunny made an appearance at the Orion Center.
Stay tuned for more ONTV news.
We'll be right back after this.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany. And I'm Leanne from Talk Juicy. Be sure to tune into our show. Yes, for the latest on fashion, celebrity gossip, and girl talk. Tune in Wednesdays nights at 6:30 p.m. and Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Comcast Channel 10 and AT&T Uverse Channel 99. And remember, always speak your truth and talk juicy.
Welcome back to ONTV News. The Orion Art Center is celebrating 35 years of nurturing and supporting the arts in the Orion area. Recently, the Art Center hosted one of its largest fundraisers of the year, and the community came to show its support. On Saturday, March 28th, the Orion Art Center hosted its 26th annual gala at Addison Oaks. More than 250 attendees were encouraged to wear tacky leisure suits, platform shoes, and gold bling for their Dragon Fever disco ball. In addition to registration fees, money was raised through auctions and raffles. 76 items were donated by area businesses.
Well, actually what this event does is it provides a lot of donations from the various people in the community to go back to the Art Center to help with funding a lot of their student art education programs and just to keep the Art Center running, which is important to the community downtown Lake Orion, get the people coming.
As a nonprofit, the Art Center relies on the community to pull off an event like this. So it is so beautiful that the community comes together and donates and buys tickets and buys tables and really comes together to make this event a true success.
During the event, the Art Center recognizes a Patron of the Year and an Artist of the Year. Newly appointed Executive Director James Jenkins told us about this year's recipients.
This year we're super excited to be honoring Cindy Wheeler, a 9-year employee of the Art Center, and an absolute tremendous asset, whether it be as an employee or volunteer or, hey, can you do this? Yeah, she's always answered the bell. And then we're really excited to be working with Jerry Brazo this year, Scripps Middle School's premier art teacher. And Jerry has been pouring his heart out to the community here in Lake Orion for about 14 years. And all you have to do is talk to some of the kids that have gone through his class to know that he's doing great things here in Lake Orion.
We had a chance to talk with both honorees in the days leading up to the event.
That was a pleasant surprise. William Haverty, asked me back in December, or let me know back in December. So, as honored with being a part of Orion Art Center shows and trying to be part of the community. I see a lot of great art that comes through the Art Center, and for my years of teaching and being a part of the Art Center, I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm honored that they made me Artist of the Year this year.
The Art Center has gifted me way more than I have ever given it to it in friendships and relationships and insights into the arts. And I just the people that I've met and the experiences that I have and the memories that I've made. So to leave my time at the Art Center with all of that was more than enough for me. So to be given this honor, and especially to be chosen by people who I care about, whose opinions and artistic talents I so respect, is really meaningful to me.
The work of Jerry Brazo's students will be on display at the Art Center over the next several weeks. Then the Art Center will host an opening reception for its popular Recreate Recycled art show on Wednesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. If you're interested in submitting your work for the show, visit orionartcenter.org or give them a call at 248-693-4986.
Although the temperature outside has been a little on the cold side, the first day of spring was observed on Friday, March 20th. On Saturday, the Easter Bunny helped usher in spring with an event at the Orion Center. ONTV's Joe Johnson has the story.
On Saturday, March 21st, Orion Township hosted the 6th annual Bunny Bop. More than 125 children enjoyed donuts and craft projects at the Orion Center. Live bunnies were on hand for the kids to pet, and the Easter Bunny posed with smiling children for a fantastic photo opportunity.
I'm seeing 125 kids having a blast doing the egg hunt. There's more live bunnies than we've ever had. The 4-H group came out in force. We have probably 10 bunnies in there for the kids to see. In addition to the Easter Bunny and the refreshments and the crafts. Great time.
The first Bunny Bop was held at Friendship Park in 2010. In 2013, the event moved to the Orion Center, but due to cold temperatures, the Easter egg hunt was held indoors the past 2 years. On Saturday, the temperature was a little on the chilly side, but it was just warm enough to allow the egg hunt to take place outdoors.
Finally, this is the first year we've been able to be outside, which is so much better for the kids because there's so much room, they can spread out. It's definitely more of a fair egg hunt for everyone because, you know, you're not cooped up in a doorway trying to find the eggs. Although the difference is, when we do it indoors, we can hide the eggs. When we do it outdoors, it's more of a gathering than a hunt. But still, I prefer to do it outdoors.
From the Orion Center, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe. There are many programs and events scheduled to take place this spring at the Orion Center. The Spring Fling Dance for individuals with disabilities is scheduled for April 28th, and the Dragon Dash 5K Run will take place on May 17th. For more information on those events, visit oriontownship.org.
This past weekend, the Lake Orion Lions Club held a night of fun and entertainment with their first annual Lions races. Residents from the local area were offered dinner and cold refreshments, but once the races started, it was definitely a night people won't forget. ONTV's reporter Monica Nowak has the story.
Just picture 24 lions racing down a field with their owners side by side. Well, more realistically, picture 24 wooden lions racing down an indoor field when dice are tossed. That's exactly what happened on Saturday, March 28th. The Lake Orion Lions Club held their first annual lion races. At the event, the lions raced 6 at a time to the roll of large dice. The number that came up on the dice determined how that lion moved on the track. The first lion across the finish line would win the race. The event was more than what the Lions Club imagined.
For an inaugural event, it's blowing our minds. We did not expect what we have tonight. We had no idea how many people were going to show up. We have about 75 people who came in off the street, beyond the tickets that we sold prior to the event. So that's quite a testimony and, you know, quite a compliment to the Lake Orion community. This is a very giving community. When we're out on the street doing White Cane or Goodfellow papers, it's mind-boggling the people that will stop, donate, and just because we're out there as Lions, they know what we do, they know who we are, and they're willing to share their money with us, and we're so very grateful for that.
But that's not all. The people at the event had the opportunity to vote on the best dressed, or in this case, decorated lion. Each lion had a ballot container where people placed in their vote on the lion they liked the most. The lion with the most votes earned a prize. but prizes were not only handed out to the Lions, but also to the crowd.
Prizes that we actually give out to people. There's some gift cards. I know we had a ladder. We had some label machines. And then there's just tons and tons of stuff. What do we have? A couple hundred?
About 100 door prizes. And we have what we call the second chance winners. After every race, they put their losing betting slips in a bucket. And those prizes are worth somewhere between $35 and $50. So there's 11 of those being given out tonight. And the last one of those is a couple of Red Wing tickets.
Oh, yeah. That's a great motivator.
The races were definitely close, but it seemed track number 1 was the leading winner in most of the races.
We think we have a winner. It is number 1, Layla Azalinsky.
In all, the goal was to raise $5,000 or more. Majority of the money will be donated to the Bear Lake Blind Camp and local charities.
I'd say that's the biggest reason I'm a Lion. For one, when you go and you go to these places, Bear Lake Blind Camp, which we're trying to sponsor tonight, or Leader Dog, or Pendrican is just a heart-wrencher. Madonna, all of those are great functions, but the thing that just impresses me the most, every single penny we collect goes back into the community.
As you can see, there's a lot of excitement happening here tonight, and if you missed this event and want to get involved, then you can visit the Lake Orion Lions Club website, and it's all happening right here at the Knights of Columbus Hall. In Lake Orion, I'm Monica Nowak for ONTV News.
Thanks, Monica. On Wednesday, March 18th, I attended the Lake Orion High School Spring Art Show and Auction within the school's main auditorium. Let's take a look. For months now, the art students at Lake Orion High School have designed, photographed, drawn, and digitally created unbelievable pieces of artwork. And now, they finally got their chance to show it all off to the community on Wednesday, March 18th.
Ever since the high school opened 18 years ago, we have done an opening night for the high school art show. And back in 2003, one of my students who had a stepfather who was the auctioneer and still is our current auctioneer, came up with the idea to do an auction because we were trying to raise money at that time to take a field trip to Washington, D.C.
The event itself is around 2 hours long and begins in the high school auditorium's lobby, with a department-wide showing starting at 6 p.m. And then afterwards, guests are invited to the auditorium for a live auction at 7 p.m.
A lot of the kids that are in the National Art Honor Society are in AP Art, or they're in some higher level art classes. In order to be in that, they are required to do a certain number of events a year. They have to do a certain number of community service hours and tutoring hours.
After the art show, people interested in the auction are invited up on stage to look at the 100 auction items up for bid. All of them original pieces of art donated from the National Art Honor Society, as well as other art students who wanted to contribute.
My favorite part about the event today is just seeing kids have their artwork auctioned off. It's so much fun to see how excited they get when they see people bidding on their work, and especially when the pieces go up high, it gets them really excited. And even when just pieces are just auctioned off at all, just the fact that somebody else wants their work is really a lot of fun for them, and I love seeing that.
All proceeds from the auction fund the after-school art club and help sponsors fun events such as large-scale projects or field trips for the students. In Lake Orion, this is Jonathan Jackson for ONTV News.
And for our final story today, Lake Orion's Cub Scout Pack 512 held their annual Pinewood Derby race on Saturday, March 28th. Scouts and their parents were given the task of designing and building their custom racers over the course of 1 month. The Scouts had to build their cars under strict guidelines. Cars could not be heavier than 5 ounces or longer than the raw wood provided, and the wheels and axles had to be stock parts only. However, the Scouts had endless freedom when it came to the car's designs. Races were broken down into den groups, with parents and siblings also participating in separate divisions. The 12 fastest cars from the dens would compete to be crowned the Pack 512 Grand Champion. After all races were completed, the Scouts gathered to hear the results. The Grand Champion for 2015 was Carpenter 3rd grader Kenny Locke. All the scouts, parents, and siblings had a great time racing. Congratulations to all racers. That's all the time we have for this edition of ONTV News. For daily content on what's happening here in Lake Orion, like us on Facebook and follow our YouTube page. On behalf of the hardworking staff here at ONTV, I'm Katie Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson. Thanks for watching.